get to be in a position to where he could become the legend that he is today. So that's how Shock G impacted me in that aspect. Just the influence that he had on Pac and the influence that Pac had on me. DMX was just majorly influenced on me just on how I approach my delivery on certain things, and just as far as being real transparent with your music, and kind of like having that aggressive pocket that I can get in. Like that was a big influence on me. DMX, just his craft alone. And Black Rob, I wasn't really too tapped into Black Rob, but I definitely was a fan of Whoa. You know what I mean? And just that whole bad boy era in itself. So they all had, you know what I mean, an impact on me in various ways. So,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean, rest in peace to them guys.
Yeah, definitely, no
We've been
doubt.
losing a lot. We've been losing a lot of
Yeah, man.
golden era
What's your
lately.
what's your take on that, man? I mean, like we're losing a lot of these guys, and these guys ain't old, man. You know what I'm saying? These guys are like barely
Yeah.
touching their 50s, and they're dying off, man. Like, what's your take on that as far as seeing the condition that some of these artists are in after being major artists? They may not be straight financially, they may not be straight health wise. Like, what's your take on that, and what do you think we can do as a culture to make that a better situation in the future?
I think, to be honest, I like what Master P was saying. Shout out to P. I think that we do need like a union or some type of security for rappers, like where we get like some type of 401k and some health benefits or something, because we really be high and dry sometimes. Like once you an artist and you get your time to be an artist, and after that, if you don't really have anything else going on, or you don't have like some other businesses or some other ways to where you can make money and have some type of security, you kind of, you know what I mean, you kind of in a bad place. So it's like seeing all these legends that's dying and they not really super old is like ridiculous. You know what I mean? I feel like any other job that we got, like the most dangerous job for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I think that alone, and that in itself should, you know what I mean, raise some antennas and allow people to start thinking like, dang, maybe we should get these guys some type of health insurance, some type of 401k or something that could prepare them for the future when they not doing shows and when they not dropping any more albums. So it's like I think that in order for I mean, I think that in order for us to get that, we might have to really look within ourselves, because I don't necessarily think that anybody's going to come to our rescue to do that, because we've been rapping for a very long time, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
Real.
it's not like, it ain't like they don't see it, you know? So I think it's definitely a possibility. Um, it's just like anything else with rap, you know what I mean? It takes time. Like back in the days, they was giving us contracts and we just had to take them, and you had to get on a certain way. Nowadays, people putting their self on. So
Right.
I think it's like kind of something like that, to where it's like, and I mean, as we the further we get along, the more progress we'll probably see. But I would like to see some effort put into that immediately, because
Yeah.
we dying fast.
I
We
agree.
dying a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even prior to X and Shock and Rob, we lost Jaleel from Houdini, which is a legendary hip hop group. And from what
Right.
my understanding was, he wasn't too straight financially. You know what I mean? Which is a big deal, because these labels eat off of the artists. And then at the end of the day, they're not taking care of the artists. So I think that's definitely something that we need to
Yeah.
stay on top of people about that, or stay on top of ourselves about that, and make something happen in that area. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, your latest single, man, More Than Gold, um, definitely hits hard. I know you just dropped the visual, a couple of days ago. It speaks to the times of today and what we're going through as a culture. What was your mindset when you recorded that song?
My mindset was pretty much I was going through a lot of emotion when George Floyd had been killed. So I started the song around that time when there was a lot of chaos going on throughout the country and throughout the world. Right. I finished the song in California. I was with Karan Butler. We were talking about, how we could impact our communities and what we could do to, make things a little different or whatever. And Jacob Blake had got shot that same day about 9 times or 8 times in his back in Wisconsin. And it was ironic because Karan Butler is from Wisconsin. Right. So it's like the moment that we there and we talking about what we can do, it's like, dang, something else come right after that. Like literally while we're there, Jacob Blake had got shot. I remember Karan, I think it was me who might have had my phone and I seen it. And I was like, dang, the cop just shot somebody 8 or 9 times. And then I remember Karan, it got on his phone. He was like, oh snap, yeah, this happened in my city. So then it was like, it was ridiculous, but that motivated me to finish the song. So I had already started it with George and I ended it with Jacob Blake, you know what I mean? The words pretty much got complete and it was a real moment. It was a God moment. God gave me the words to finish the song and that's how it happened.
Right. And I noticed in the visual, you had a scene where you had to put a noose on.
Yeah.
How I mean, of course, that's just something that it's got to be hard to even think about doing it and then actually do it and to kind of feel, even in the slightest bit, feel like what our ancestors felt when they were being hung. Yeah. How did that feel for you?
It was a little emotional and it was definitely a wake-up call for me, just as far as respecting my ancestors even more and respecting the people that paved the way for me even more, because I'm not gonna hold you. It wasn't even just a slight bit of tightness with the noose is like difficult, you know what I mean? Right. So just, I can't imagine people were really hanging and still to this day, lynching and hanging Black people off of trees, you know what I mean? And the pain and the agony that they was going through and the reason that they was going through it, like I can't even fathom that happening, but it definitely opened my eyes and it definitely let me know that I really had to complete the project, because even watching people that was watching, like we had a whole crew that was there. It was Black people there that was in the fields with me. Like they were literally watching the whole scene while it was happening. So, and a lot of them couldn't even watch it. So it was like, yeah, it was definitely rigorous at times, a little painful, but it was definitely, you know what I mean? I like to say it's always beauty and pain. Right. So,
and you got the message out there in a big way.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. A while back you did Shooter's Ambition with my guy DJ Caesar, Casanova 2 times. And then Cass got arrested. Have you spoken to Cass since he got locked up? And if you haven't spoken to him, or if you have, do you know how he's doing mentally in the situation? And if you haven't spoken to him, what would you say to him if you could touch with him?
Well, I haven't spoken to him yet. I'm always talking to people that's was in his team or is in his team, like Lefty and Ja. Okay. I talked to them guys. I just got his information, so I'm gonna be writing them soon. But I haven't spoken to him yet, though. I definitely want to tap in with him. But every time I talk to them, it seems like, you know what I mean, Cass been through it. Yeah, so it's like he ain't going, you know what I mean? Yeah. He ain't going to get down on himself too much. He going to try to, you know what I mean, keep his spirits up, but it's jail. And you know what I mean? He done been through the ringer a lot. So it's like, I can only imagine what he going through, and with his kids, not being able to see his kids and then feeling like he might have messed his shot up and stuff like that. But I'm always speaking on him everywhere I go, always telling people type of guy he is, you know what I mean? So I always tell every interview that I go to or anybody who says anything about him that he's a very good dude, real genuine dude.
Right.
So when I do talk to him, because I'm gonna talk to him, I'm gonna just let him know that I'm out here holding him down and to keep his head up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody that I know that has come in touch with Kaz always said the same thing. You know, good
Yeah,
energy, good spirit, good dude.
yeah, great energy.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I know a while back you were working on a project called Mindset with Jaleel Beats, that didn't come to fruition. Now you're giving us the Substance EP.
yeah,
I did see you on Instagram Live the other day, and I heard "Seek and Ye Shall Find," the intro
yeah,
for the EP.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about the project. How many tracks, producers, features? Just tell me something about what's going on with the project.
Well, it's only about 8 tracks. I'm gonna do a deluxe though.
Okay.
So because it was supposed to come out quicker than it did, but I guess I don't know what it is with this project, but it must be something that's going to be real special about it.
Greatness
It's,
can't be rushed, bro.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's been giving me a very hard time. But
Yeah.
it's coming out between May 10th and May 20th.
Okay.
I got 8 songs on it. Got Cass on there already, as you know. I got Amanda Fallon singing on there, and I got a poet named Maui. She's like super dope. You know what I mean? But I ain't do too many features, but that's the features that's on here.
Okay.
And Mindset was actually coming out before the pandemic hit. It was coming out that summer.
Right.
But then the pandemic hit and messed it all up. And then I start putting this project together. So now I'm gonna put this out this month. And Mindset should be dropping sometime in the summer as well. So because it gotta come out. Like I've been holding that for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah. So but it's the beauty in that is that it's such a great project. It don't get old. So it could be 5 years from now and it's still gonna hit you the same way as it, you know what I mean, when I first made it. So
yeah,
it's definitely new. Dope. And yeah, it's all new. And Jaleel still, you know what I mean, he's still back in the play. So he waiting on me. You know what I mean? So like it's coming.
That's what's up.
You know
all right,
I mean?
definitely. If I'm not mistaken, some time ago, did you do a bid yourself?
Yeah, I went to jail when I was in college. I had this is why even more than gold was like even more near and dear to me, because I went to jail for fighting a police officer.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, I was in college. We had a college party, but our school campus, I went to Westchester University. I got a communication studies major and a focus in marketing. So I got my bachelor's degree. But I went there at Westchester University through a party, and we didn't have school campus police. We had real police. So it was like a fight that broke out or whatever. Fight was over, and I left out my party, coming back into my party to make sure everybody was good. And the cop kind of was like, nah, you can't come back in, like put his hands on me. So I'm like, no, this is my party. This is my event.
Right.
So I'm like, soon as he touched me, it was like, I got him off me. And then they tried to blow that all up. Next thing I know, we tussling all this other crazy stuff.
Right.
And they tried to basically say I assaulted the police officer the whole time. The police officer was putting his hands on me. I just was defending myself, trying to get him off me. But that turned into a whole nother situation. I ended up getting kicked out of school for that. I ended up going to a bunch of lawyer fees. I went to jail for that. I got 2 years parole and 1 year probation. And then, that was like, but through the midst of all that, I still went back to school, still went and got my degree, still finished, and still like did it on my time at the same school, and looked at, you know what I mean? And the officers looked at, was around the same officers telling them like, y'all, like, I had to speak it, but like, y'all didn't break me. You tried and it didn't work. You feel me? And not only that, but I was speaking on, when I got back to school, I was speaking on panels as far as how can we help the relationship between Black students at Westchester and the police officer or the public safety, but they really police. because it was always like something between black students and police officers up there, and like the public safety up there, because they would treat us differently for some odd reason.
Right.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad you came out of that on top, and that's sort of like a middle finger to them, like you definitely tried to break me, but you didn't get that. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Tell me a little bit more about some of the sacrifices that you continue to make on this quest to being an artist, man.
Really just my I don't even look at them as sacrifices no more. I just look at it as a part of the journey. Like, I sacrifice my time, sacrifice my finances, I sacrifice a lot of things, sacrifice some things that people might consider fun, like going out partying, a lot of different things. Like, I just sacrifice a lot. I sacrifice my life. You know what I mean? I could be doing a lot of different things, but I'm putting my all into the music, putting all into my craft. So I just really sacrifice whatever you think that somebody would be doing when they live in like a normal or regular life. I'm sacrificing all of those things so that I don't have to do that and be normal and do things that I don't want to do and wake up every day not enjoying what I do. Like, I wake up every day. Sometimes stuff not always going the way that you want it. Being an entrepreneur, especially when you're independent, they might not always go what you want, but I could honestly say I wake up and I do whatever I want every day, and I don't be super duper stressed. If anything, when I am stressed, it's because I'm putting pressure on myself to be great. But I wake up every day and I get to do what I love to do.
Okay.
So
all right. Definitely. That's dope. I mean, yeah, you want to be able to wake up in the morning and do what you feel like doing, as opposed to being stressed out over doing something that you definitely don't want to do. You know, that's a good look. Absolutely. In the past, we spoke about prison reform. We talked about in the city of Philadelphia, trying to start extra early with the kids before they even get into the system. Have you been able to put any plans in action, or going out to schools and reaching out to the youth and talking to people in the community that have some power? Have you been able to put any of those plays into action to make things a little bit better?
Yeah, I have. Since I talked to you last, I donated a check to a school library in South Philadelphia, elementary school. And it's ironic you asking me that question, because I just did a panel yesterday with the state representative, Jordan Harris, and we were talking about things that we can implement to basically get through to the kids and basically let them know that we here for them, and that, it's other ways they don't have to necessarily go through street things and street activities and go through the stuff we went through, and that because we already been there and we know what's going on out here. But I'm putting together a nonprofit. It should be here by the summer, called the Mindsetters Foundation, where we basically taking kids out of the street and putting them in the studio and teaching you how to write raps, teaching you how to record, teaching you how to produce beats, teaching you how to mix and master. So it's basically like, even if we getting you out the streets for 3 hours, and that's 3 hours that could be out there doing something else. Yeah,
that's
exactly. So
absolutely.
And that in itself, I feel as though if I could save one person from that, then it's doing, it's fulfilling a purpose. I'm successful then. I'm blessed. I can get my blessings. But I feel as though it's important because music is such a tool for kids, and it's just, it rules. Like, you feel me? Like, kids love music, and everybody who's been a kid have had somebody or was that person who wanted to go to the studio or was spending their money to go to the studio. And sometimes you might not have had the money to go to a studio. So if I'm providing that and if I'm providing that and allowing kids to come to my studio, then they might not even you might not even become a rapper or a producer or whatever, but as long as you out the streets, that's cool. That might make you start thinking like, damn, I can use this to do other things. You feel me? Like I can use this it might open up another opportunity for you. It might make you see things differently. It might make you see work ethic. Right, like, damn, I just worked and made these beats, and maybe if I work at something else, I could be successful at that too. So it's like, it's a lot of different things, man. But yeah, I definitely have been tapping into my community and tapping in with the kids. And I remember when we was at the interview last, I was saying something about prison reform is it's cool, but once you start working on prison reform, you already in prison. So it's like you already did what you did.
Yeah.
And yesterday we was with the state rep. We working on criminal justice reform. So we working on way before you even
changing
go to prison. Like we working on getting your records expunged. We're working on a lot of different things. So and I mean, it's definitely coming. It's definitely coming.
Yeah, and a lot of those laws need to be changed, you know, because those laws they're old laws, and those laws weren't made with us in mind at all. Yeah,
for sure.
So, yeah, definitely. I asked you this before too, but I just want to see if your mindset has changed. Label or independent, man?
I'm still independent right now, especially due to the pandemic. But I'm with whatever makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? I'm with whatever makes sense.
Yeah,
that's all. And as long as they come in correct, and I'm always willing to negotiate. So whatever makes sense. I'm independent right now. I'm not opposed to a label, but I'm definitely enjoying being independent. So it just gotta make sense.
Like you said, last year was a rough year for everybody. The pandemic slowed down a lot of movement for people. How did you stay active in the pandemic and working as an artist?
I ain't gonna hold you, man. It was definitely hurting me. I had a couple things that was lined up, but you just gotta keep working. I just kept my head to the booth. In the booth, you know what I mean? Staying in the studio, writing, dropping videos, just staying consistent. That's it. As long as you staying consistent, something gonna come, you know what I mean? And once it kind of opened up just a tad bit, I was right back on the plane. I'm right back out. I'm going right back outside. And not only that, but I moved from Philadelphia. I live in Atlanta now, so they open. So they wide open. So it's not really affecting me like it was before. Like when it first, like the first few months was rough because we was just in the house for the most part. Like we didn't even know. It felt like zombie land or something. You didn't even know if you could come out. You touch something. It was just a lot going on. All I did was, you know what I mean? All I did was stay consistent. Yeah, you know what I mean, and I always believe consistency is your best friend.
It's the key. So yeah, absolutely. You made the move from Philly to Atlanta. Did you do that because you felt like Atlanta was just more wide open for you to network and make the dream come true on a higher level? Or did you just feel like being in Philly and close to the New York just wasn't working for you? Like, what was the main reason for the move?
I just felt like I had checked off almost every box in Philadelphia. Like, not only that, but Atlanta just it is wide open, and it's a lot more opportunity down there. No disrespect to my city. I love my city, but
no doubt.
When it kind of entertainment and the music industry right now, Atlanta is like number one. For real. But it just was a good move. And then it's like, with me, it's like I'm always back and forth. So it's like I'm just building my network. So now I'm not only from the East Coast, but I got relationships in Atlanta now, and I can always come back to the East Coast and tap in here too. So it was like, to me, it just made perfect sense. Right. And I mean, it was the only thing I hadn't done in Philadelphia was probably get on Cosmic Kev. And the week that I was leaving Philly, he called me up to the Come Up show to go on Power 99
Okay.
and rap for him. So it was crazy because the week that I was moving, he gave me the call. So it was like that was like a sign to me, like, yeah, it's definitely time to go because you did everything else. You know what I mean? But I'm in my city right now. So it's like I tap back in. I tap back in a lot.
No doubt, no doubt. Another artist from your city, man, that just got hit with a lot of time, AR Ab. You know, a lot of people say, that a lot of the interviews and things that he did, brought the feds down on him or whatever the case may be. What do you think the issue is with rap artists that are so in love with the streets, man, that they can't let go, even when they have an opportunity to do something that's way bigger than the streets could ever be?
Well, I don't think really free AR Ab. I don't really think that was even. I think they're using a lot of those against him. AR Ab was an entertainer, like, and a businessman at the end of the day. So I don't really think that was even him trying to condone street activity.
You
like
think
every
it was
time,
they just basically trucked up a lot of
yeah,
stuff?
I think
they okay.
Yeah, they using a lot of they you know what I mean, they adding they seasoning on it and I mean spicing it up. Like AR Ab was anybody who know Ab. I met Ab. Anybody who know Ab and met Ab and met a lot of them dudes, they was good dudes. Like, so
right.
I don't even believe in half of that. Look at what they doing at Cass.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I already know how it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's just, I mean, in a lot of ways, it does feel like it's still like a conspiracy to just knock these dudes off because they getting big and they giving to the community and they showing and people like, that you can do better.
Yeah. Look at Bob. Look what they did to Bobby Shmurda. Bobby Shmurda said I wasn't even doing nothing when they came and grabbed me. Like, we was falling back, and they was like, "We got to get them now because before they get out of our reach." So it's like, I already know how it go, man. I come from that. Like, I'm a product of real dudes and take down records. Like, I already seen how that goes, and I already know what they do. So it's like, nah.
What are your thoughts on your city's current hip hop scene? Who are you checking for music wise?
I'm checking for anybody that's hot. But we got a lot of people that's hot, man. We got Ranshaw, we got me, we got I love Tierra Whack. Tierra Whack is probably my favorite. Yeah, Tierra Whack probably like my favorite Philadelphia artist right now. Like, I love Tierra Whack, but we got a lot of artists, man. I think it's looking real good. You know what I mean? So all we gotta do is keep working, and you know what I mean, it's inevitable for us to be one of the. We are already the top city. To be honest, we are one of the top music cities in the country. Like, everybody love Philly. I just think it's more so us hindering us sometimes, not sticking together like we should. But for the most part, as far as how Philly looking in the music scene, I love it.
Right, no doubt. That's what it is, definitely. How do you feel you've grown as an artist? Not necessarily since you come in the game, but since the pandemic. Like, how do you feel you've grown? What did you learn most about yourself as an artist and as a person in that pandemic time where you couldn't really do anything and you had to come up with different ways to keep going forward?
I learned that God rules all things. You know what I'm saying? I learned God don't care about none of our plans. And I mean, He's gonna do it His way. And you got to do it His way, or it's no other way. But I also learned that, like I said, consistency is your best friend. And I really learned that as a rapper, you can't just be rapping. You really got to have other things going on around you. Like, you feel me? You got to have like other businesses, even if, because I'm starting my businesses and I want them all to still be, I want the core to be me rapping and then everything else around me to be still revolving around music. So it's like, I want a lot of artists to start really thinking like, what can I do besides just rap? How can I tie other things in as a businessman and as an entrepreneur? Because that's what really get people out. Like, man, I done been around a lot of different things and seeing a lot of different things, and people, rap ain't making that much money You feel me? So it's like you gotta kind of have something else going on with yourself. So I learned that in the pandemic, just seeing it, because seeing how many people was losing money and stuff like that, it was because they couldn't do their shows, they couldn't, and I mean, get their back in. So it's like, but if I look at other individuals who got this, that, and the third going on outside of just going to the club and making appearances, they was good. So it's like, let that be a lesson to you. And I've read, the deeper that I get into the music, the more I'm seeing that. So it's like I'm preparing. I'm preparing for that right now. I'm building those things around me now.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I
mean? Who do you look to for, or who have you looked to for inspiration business wise? Not even music personalities, just outside of music. Who have you seen business wise that you're like, damn, they're doing something that I would like to do?
Well, I always thought Jigga was the best to ever do it business wise. You feel me? So I always pay attention to when he talking. And I'm kind of starting to see what he do as far as when he build up a lot of companies and then sell them for way more than he got them. But I don't know, man. I don't really. I feel like I kind of got guys around me who already know what I need to do. So I look to the guys around me. I don't really do too much outside looking around. You know what I mean? I got a lot of good people that's around me that's that know what they talking about. So
right.
You know what I mean?
That's what it is, definitely. As an artist, man, at this point in your career, what do you feel your responsibility is to the music culture?
Same thing. Make music of substance. That's why we dropping an EP that's called Substance. And I think it's just really take as many people ears and really get them to listen and reflect and acknowledge things that's going on within their community and within their self, and hopefully making some type of change or making some type of spark in their brain. So whereas though they move differently and it's for the better of our people. And when I say our people, I mean Black people. So that's what I feel like my responsibility is. I feel like at the end of the day, when I'm gone, or if I ever go, I just want people to know, like, KP did it not only for himself, he was doing it for us the whole time. He was genuine, and he really cared, and he really wanted to make a change and really wanted to change the world.
Right.
And I mean, one person at a time or one day at a time. And I mean, I want people to remember that. And I feel like that's always going to be my responsibility as an artist, because that's why I feel as though that's why I was given the gift.
Definitely. Tell us about your other ventures, man, you know, your merch and things like that, where people can get that stuff from, and what else we should be expecting from you on top of the Substance EP.
Y'all should be expecting a lot of Keep Pushing brand, the brand to be getting put out, man. I got my KP hats. I just posted them. I'm about to start dropping those real crazy. People already asking where can they get them. I got my website coming, kpvibes.com. Like I said, I got my nonprofit that'll be here in the summer, Mindsetters Foundation, and it's going to be perfect because I'm going to be dropping Mindset around that time with Jalil Beats, so y'all can be expecting that, man. I got a lot of different things coming, but I really want y'all to know that keep pushing the brand, because this is my brand's Keep Pushing KP. And I mean, it all revolves around me, for KP, by KP, only KP. You're gonna be seeing that a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of hashtags, a lot of everything, man. But I got a lot coming up. A lot coming up.
Definitely. Last question, man. What does hip hop mean to you?
Man, hip hop to me means therapy. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Sometimes, like, that's like the most peace I get when I'm in the studio and just in my zone. It's my therapy, for real.
Definitely, that's what it is. Yo, KP, man, thank you again, man, for stopping through on the Essence, man. It's always a pleasure to catch up with you, man. You know, I'm tapped in on everything that you drop and everything that you do. I'm always listening, bro, and I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
No doubt.
Shout out to y'all, man.
Yes, sir. Sure. All right, man. Stay up.
All right, you already know, King.
All right, peace.